Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Izine Agrega, and you are much welcome back to MichyTalks. Here in this channel, I create content on lifestyle, real life matters, legal talk, and everything in between. So, if today is your first time of seeing my face or coming across any of my videos, do well to hit on the red button below this video that says subscribe to subscribe to my channel. And beside the subscribe button, there is a bell icon there. Click on it. This enables you to get notifications whenever I upload new videos. So guys, today we'll be looking at how to lawfully evict a tenant from the premises. Evicting a tenant from the premises is one right of a landlord in Nigeria. However, the landlord is expected to exercise this right lawfully. In Lagos State, where a landlord forcefully evicts a tenant from the premises, such landlord is liable for an offence punishable with 6 months imprisonment or a fine of 250,000 naira. In other states, it might not be an offense, but here is the thing: the tenant could sue you for damages or even sue you for trespassing. You get, let's say for instance, a tenant has willfully refused to leave the premises and you involve the police or even involve maybe the village youth to help you evict the tenant from the premises. That is forcefully evicting him from the premises, and at the process of doing that, his TV was damaged or any of his properties was damaged as a result of that. The tenant could sue you for those damages you get. And some of these tenants, they are very cunning. I even claim that they had 500,000 naira or even 200,000 or any amount of money at all in the house or in the premises during this incident, and as a result of the forceful eviction or thereabouts, the money got missing. So you see that the tenant could sue you for damages and could also sue you for trespassing. So that's why it's very necessary for you to lawfully evict a tenant from the premises. So, how do you lawfully evict a tenant from the premises? The first thing to do is to issue a late rent notice. Issuing a late rent notice is the first step if the reason for evicting such tenant from the premises is for non-payment of rent. That is to say, the tenant no longer pays rent. He has willfully refused to pay rent, and you, the landlord, you are now very tired of him not paying rent and he's still making use of your premises. I mean, you would like to evict him from the premises. So before you evict the tenant from the premises, you are expected to issue what is called a late rent. Here it is. The landlord is required by law to have made several demands on the tenant, and under the law, the landlord can seek an order of possession and an order for recovering of unpaid rent in court. The landlord is also required to provide evidence of non-payment of arrears of rent. You get, you as a person, you are telling the court that this person has not been paying rent though. Will the court just believe? No, the court won't just believe that the tenant has not been paying rent. You as a landlord, you have to provide the evidence to show the court that this tenant has not been paying rent and you are now tired. You want him out from the premises. This is why late rent notice is very important, because this late rent notice serves as an evidence in court. The second step is issuance of notice to quit. This is very mandatory for periodic leases, and the length of the notice to quit depends on what was signed by the both parties in the tenancy agreement. Let's say for instance, the both parties, that is the landlord and the tenant, agreed and signed in the tenancy agreement that only 1 month's notice to quit will be issued before eviction. It simply means that the landlord will issue only a month's notice to quit. But whereby in the tenancy agreement, the length of the notice to quit is silent, then the provision of the law will prevail. And what is the provision of the law? If the tenancy is a yearly tenancy, then a 6 months notice to quit will be issued. If it's a half-yearly tenancy, that is to say the tenant pays every 6 months, it means it's a half-yearly tenancy. It simply means that a 3 months notice to quit will be issued. If it's a monthly tenancy, it simply means that at least a month's notice to quit should be issued. and whereby is a weekly tenancy, 1 week notice to quit should be issued. Remember, I said that this provision of the law will only prevail where the length of the notice to quit is silent on the tenancy agreement. But whereby is not silent, that is to say, the landlord and the tenant agreed on the length of the notice to quit, then what the landlord and the tenant agreed on is what will prevail. And it's also important for you to note that the issuance of notice to quit can become the first step to consider in evicting a tenant from the premises if the reason for evicting that tenant from the premises is not failure to pay rent. They may say, for instance, the reason for evicting the tenant from the premises might be because you want to renovate the building. I mean, the tenant has been paying his rent, you want to renovate and you want to evict the tenant from the premises, then late rent notice will not be necessary. I mean, why are you issuing late rent notice? He has been paying his rent and he's up to date, so it's not necessary. So this issuance of notice to quit can become the first, but whereby the reason why you are evicting the tenant from the premises is because he has failed to pay rent, then late rent notice will be the first step. But if it's not the reason, this issuance of notice to quit is the first step. So maybe if you don't get me, you can just go back and watch this video to have a better understanding on what I'm talking about. The next step is issuance of 7 days notice of owner's intention to recover possession. Now, where the tenants still have not vacated from the rental property after the expiration of the notice to quit, the landlord or his attorney is expected to issue what is called a 7 days notice of owner's intention to recover possession. But whereby the tenant evicted the premises or vacated from the premises before the expiration of the notice to quit or on the expiration of the notice to quit, then this is not necessary. You can only issue a 7 days notice of owner's intention to recover possession where the tenant still refuses to vacate from the premises even after a notice to quit has been issued and has expired. The fourth step, or rather, let me say the last step, is commencement of action in court. This step only comes into play where the tenant has still refused to vacate from the rental premises. This is to say, a notice to quit has been issued, he refused to vacate, and a 7 days notice of owner's intention to recover possession was also issued, and the tenant still refused to vacate from the rental premises. So what will the landlord do? Will the landlord now fold his arms and be like, he has refused to leave after I finish issuing all these things? The next thing the landlord will do now is to commence an action in court. This step entails a court process, you get, that will require the calling of witnesses to come give evidence. Just like, I don't know if you've been in court, court process, how it's been done, this is what this step will entail. Now, after that, a judgment will be delivered by the court, ordering the tenant to vacate the premises immediately or on a specified date.